Bungoma, Gongwa, MONBASA, MVITA. Today I'm going to talk about the SUEZ Canal. Moses allegedly crossed here through the Red Sea, but it had not been done. Tutmosis II wrote a statement with his whirlwind war, the first modern warfare formation. The Hittites fled. They gave their children as ransom, meaning that they could not attack Egypt now again. A new war pact or agreement. We have your children, don't attack or you will kill them. Was that the pact? I would think the pact is the pact that people used to have during the old days. You've beaten us in war. Let's agree. Marry one of us. And we have a bloodline, a blood code. So we don't have to fight again. Old pact, a girl or a princess in marriage. Build a relationship of oneness. Later, that Tutmosis III, a fierce warrior, now the son of the pact, acceptable both sides, and he became a benevolent leader brought up by the mother, Hatshepsut, reigned supreme. That's my take. I'm not saying that is how it is historically, but because there are two different people meaning the same, I'm now placing it my way, my style. Reigned supreme. Armana was established. All religions want it up to now. It means he struck a balance. You are captured, but you keep your religion, almost something that we are talking about like as Pegasus. You independent. Do your things. Give some tribute to the Kemet king. Pay taxes. Have your peace. That is what was called the period of heaven or paradise to them. And we all want paradise here on earth, don't we? You do, I do. Everybody who is interested in politics, everybody who is interested in the world affairs wants things to run smooth, wants peace, yes, wants to be able to get through things. So it happened during this time. We go also to Ramses II. That is the same thing. Because Ramses II wrote the first pact with the Hittites. And Tutmosis II beat the Hittites into submission. They fled. But later it is said in history, they gave their children so that if they attacked, they would also kill their children. What does it mean? Historically, all over the world, when you are beaten, you give a prince or a princess. You have a bloodline, a blood code. It gives you peace. You know very well they cannot betray you. And if they do, they are guilty of spilling their own blood. Children born between you and them. Ramses II wrote the first pact with the Hittites. The other one he was fighting with Mutuelius, but now this one there was a different name, so Hittites, that is what is legally there. So that is what happened. The first one recognized in the world history. His son, Merneptah, ruled supreme. Are we not talking also of Tutmosis II? and Tutmosis III, who ruled spring. Things were good. He gave them manna, and he later moved to Memphis. That is now, he has established that relationship. He is giving them progress. Yes, he is giving them prosperity in their own areas. Unity in diversity. Urbana and Memphis depict the best of what could be attained. A paradise on earth. But a bigger twist comes here. The Pharaoh's Canal does not join the Mediterranean Sea. What? Yes. The Pharaoh's Canal does not join the Mediterranean Sea. What does it mean? It runs across Egypt from the Nile to the tip of the Red Sea. So, the Pharaoh's Canal was dug, running across from the river Nile to the tip of the Red Sea, meaning the land that joined Sinai and Egypt was intact, meaning the three continents were connected: Asia, Europe, and Africa. Connected. That's where these pharaohs would ride with their chariots, wage war with the Hittites will retreat, and there was a danger of Hittites hitting back across that landmass. It ran across from the Nile to the tip of the Red Sea. And what happened? Who was this madman who accomplished this? Because there is a pharaoh who began it, but instead of burdening us with many names because they are difficult to pronounce, sometimes remembering, because the gist of this topic is not the names of the pharaohs, it's what happened and what it means to us. The Necho's Canal, or Pharaoh's Canal, this canal ran across Egypt, joining the Nile to the Red Sea. It was known as Bahr el Yusuf, or Baharia Yusuf, the Ocean of Yusuf. Others called it Bahr el Musa, but the name that is famous is Bahr el Yusuf. Bahr el Musa would have meant the ocean of Moses. But what we have and what remained is Bahr el Yusuf, the ocean of Joseph. Who is this Joseph we are talking about? We are talking about a great Pharaoh. But he implemented a project that costed a lot of lives. 120,000 people died digging the canal of Necho, the canal of Yusuf, the ocean of Yusuf. It was an ocean of fresh water. It took fresh water from the Nile across to the tip of the Red Sea. What happened with the Nile crossing over? They had dug the canal so deep that during the rains, you could sail with small ships across. 120,000 lives were lost. Working on the canal, we've heard of the Egyptians worked the Israelites. But during Necho's time, it was the Egyptians who were digging their canal. So many died. And you know, when many people are dead in an area, we say blood has been shed. So the blood of around 120,000 was shed to finish Bahr el Yusuf, the canal of Nico, the canal of Yusuf. And what did this canal do? It made Egypt into a bread basket. They had plenty, and more than plenty. They sold, they gave, and it was never ending because of the desert type of climate. They were continuously harvesting. It was a great thought. At first, it was torture to the people. But when the project was over, every Egyptian forgot about the pains of digging that cord, life chain, the blood cord of Egypt, because it became the bread basket of Egypt. The red cord, remember? Egyptians harvested. They had what they had. But then what happens? The other land was dry. Later, some other people thought also that it would be better, from the inspiration of Nico, Yusuf, or others call him Musa. Now I don't know which one, but Yusuf is more prominent, the Joseph of the many colors. So, another one got inspiration. And this was the Iranian conqueror, Darius the Great, or Darius, others call him that. He began the project now. His was to dig the land between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. And he abandoned it. He was not able to finish it. Later, Ferdinand de Lesseps, working for the Ottoman Empire, I don't know if I have pronounced it properly because the Frenchmen have their pronunciation. I'm not good in French. So Ferdinand de Lesseps, working for the Ottoman Empire, carried out the project from 1854 AD, not BC, AD. 1854 AD. It is owned by SCA or SUEZ Canal authorities. It is a state-owned authority which operates and maintains the Suez Canal. It is the bloodline of Europe, Africa, and Asian trade, including the Americas. Over 90% of the world goods pass through this canal. Nico's dream for a green Egypt inspired a bigger dream of the world connection code line. Is the present code line. The other code line was mostly dried by the desert. Sometimes when there is rain and the river was left to proceed again to the Mediterranean. With the bloodline of the world, an inspiration of Nico. People suffered, they harvested. Now, from that inspiration, we have the Suez Canal. It has been a canal of controversies, but over 90% of the world goods, because most of the world trade is done in the sea, goes through the Suez Canal. A great inspiration of Nico, a great inspiration from the authorities of the Ottoman Empire, in that they managed to fix the project. The British came later, ironing out and whatever, but it had been done. So, when we think of the bloodline, the lifeline of the world sea trade, we should never forget the lifeline of nickel to Egypt. Yes, the Kemet dug the canal of Yusuf. That is my take for now.